but James, I know you guys can do a lot. Man, come on. I said, all right, give me anything, I'll try my best. And he said, but then take over the Northeast as a regional coordinator, because that's where most of our members lives. I said, no problem. So we took it now, and that particular position automatically become on the executive board. So that's how I ended up becoming a executive member of that position. And when we meet once every month, but get the executive club. This now because I've been involved actively for a year, and I know what they go through now. So I'm speaking now from experience because it's not easy to run an organization. It's not easy. So I've been actively involved in this thing for a year. I'm like, okay. So when we started yesterday, our pre meeting when we had, so they chose. So James, you got to speak because now you've been there for 1 year. So now you can give you a little story. Hopefully, it can inspire someone. So now we have a lot of subcommittees that we really want the members to be involved because this is the thing. Like somebody, I think one of the person said, coming is good, it's encouraging. Paying your dues is also encouraging. But when you get involved, it takes it to another level. You understand me? So now we're asking, when this time aspect come up, they all just do it together in love and unity so that the organization can move forward and get larger. Amen? Amen. Thank you.
Yeah.
So now you heard from Bosse, you heard from James, and you heard from myself on being involved beyond coming to just a convention. So here's the opportunity. We have 3. I don't want to look on this side. So that keeps my body. I always get distracted. All right. We have 3 committees that we want to help structure this organization. We've talked about it in the past that we want to keep being engaged over the entire year with the members, not just the executives having meeting once a month, but making sure that we keep our membership involved. We want to have a developmental committee that's going to be able to help us fundraise. Fundraising is our most important aspect of this organization for what we want to do. In order for us to build our own school, sustain our own school, maintain our own school, we have to be able to fundraise outside of just our membership. We have to be able to be strategic about it. So we want a committee that's going to be committed to just that aspect of this organization. So that's our developmental committee. Their responsibility will be fundraising strategy and collection of our pledges. So we've made strides in collecting pledges, but we are not where we're supposed to be. And it's unfortunate because some of it is self-inflicted. We've had strategies in the past where we've collected 90%, 95% of the pledges. That's excellent for an organization. But then we've come back down. We regress to where we're about 55, 60%. We can't sustain this organization only collecting 60% of our pledges. So we have to do better. So that's going to be the responsibility of the developmental committee to just focus on how are we going to start getting our pledges from the start. By the time we leave the convention, by August, they're going to start sending out those emails, reminders, and staying engaged with the people that made pledges. In the past, we've waited until December, January, February of the following year. That's too late for you. Somebody made a pledge July of last year, and you're contacting them in January of the next year. They already forgot to make a pledge. They're done with that. So that's the developmental committee. So I'm asking you now, those that were up there last night, we not going home. That is not what it's all about. Okay? They don't want to go home, but they also want to wake up this morning at 9 o'clock. I'm sorry, I had to put that out there. And I left some messages for you guys that we're not going home last night. But on a serious note, we need 4 members on the developmental committee. And James is also going to be a part of that committee, representing the executive membership. We have people in mind, but we also want people to volunteer. That way, you have a buy-in. That's something you want to do. It's something you have interest in, and that's something you're going to be committed to. So when you guys are having a meeting, you'll be there because you have a commitment, and you put yourself in. So, developmental committee.
Maybe let's give them all 3.
Okay. That's true. The next committee is engagement committee. So the engagement committee for me is personal. The organization started, no disrespect, but it was a lot of older folks, okay? Not older folks, more experienced folks, all right? More seasoned folks, all right? Yeah. I'm calling them, they were old. So I attended a convention, but I clearly saw that great divide in what we were seeing, you know? I've got to do something about it.
Generational gap.
Yeah, that was a serious generational gap, yeah. So I'm like, I got to do something about it. I have to start calling people that were my classmates and folks that were just a few classes above me or under me to get them to also be a part of the organization. Because, yeah, we like our old folks, but we have to seasoned folks, but we have to have some younger people in here. So we have to have some younger people to rectify the organization. So I started to make the phone calls to get the Rav Rights on board, to get the Hans Buchanan on board, to get the James Jordan on board, to bring people that will help us go forward. So, but we can still do a lot. Okay, we haven't even touched the surface. There are so many people that just haven't gotten there yet that we can reach out to. And I mean, when you talk to some people, I'm not gonna say it's discouraging, but you do feel a little bit discouraged because they just cannot understand, or they can't make that link between where they're coming from, where they are today, and the reason why they are where they are today. And until you can make that link, it's hard to see both minds. It's hard to see both minds clearly. It's hard to see both minds correctly. Because again, if you look at our foundation, where we come from, and our educational background, it's given us a lot of privilege in life that others just don't have. Okay, and so that's how you have to look at it. So with the engagement committee, responsibilities will be to make sure there's an outreach, that we continue to engage the above-minders, increase our membership, which we can definitely do. And I personally have talked to a lot of people, just one person reaching out and consistently reaching out, bringing other people on board. If we had a committee that was just devoted to that and coming up with different strategies to make sure we can increase our membership, that's all you're going to be responsible for. And yes, so even though we're trying to grow our membership, but we absolutely have a core group of people that are so dedicated to this organization that we cannot afford to lose them. And as an executive body, we've not done our duty in the best way that we can. And so that's why this is important. We've had members that we probably miss a year. We don't see them this year. And the next year goes by. We don't see them at the convention. But we don't reach out and say, hey, are you okay? You know, what's going on with you? I mean, we missed you at the last convention. Making them feel a valued part of the organization is important because we want to keep them. So in as much as we want to grow, but we also want to keep this core body that has been here for a long time and has given us so much. So that's also going to be a key part of this engagement committee. By the time we leave here, by August, they send an email, just telling people thank you, just thank you for coming to the convention. And then we can go from there. So that's the engagement committee. And then the last committee will be our education committee. So the reason we exist as an organization, our ideology, the reason we are here, again, is that link, our educational foundation for bone minds, that we're trying to help the kids that are left behind to also have the educational opportunities that we have. And so that is that's the only reason that this organization exists. It's not to have a party every July. It's not to just come here and have a good time every July. It's not to just fellowship, which are all good. And they're all components of why this organization exists. But the core of why we are here as a 501c3 organization is to make sure that the same educational opportunities that we had growing up, that we can afford to give that back to those kids in bone mines so that they can at least have a chance, because it was based on that educational foundation that we have a chance. Okay, so if we don't reach back and provide that, then we are not doing our best. So based on that, the educational committee, like the president said earlier, one of our goals in the future, which is the near future, is to build our own school. So the responsibility of this educational committee will be to start laying out the foundation of what this school is going to look like, the curriculum of what this school is going to look like. Even the design, what are we trying to do? So that's all part of the educational committee. And we already know we're blessed as an organization. We have Dr. Richardson, who's an educator. We have Michelle Perkins, who's an educator. Wala is not here. She also has background in education. So at least we start the educational committee with a few people that we know. But we also want to have this outreach to the greater body. There may be talents in here that we just not aware of that want to volunteer to be a part of this educational committee. So that, and this educational committee work is gonna start really, really soon. Because in as much as we're looking at the future, which is the school, but we also have work to do in the present, in the current, where we have the resource center. You come late, you disturb, you party at night, So the educational committee is also going to start working now because the resource center is rough. The resource center, we have to be able to do some tutorial classes for the instructors that are tutoring the students. They're lacking, there are gaps. So the guy who's doing our computer classes, we want to make sure he gets more training. So we can do work now with the educational committee that will help the resource center move forward. And then we'll be able to make that leap from the resource center into our actual school. So those are the three committees: the engagement committee, the developmental committee, and the educational committee that we're trying to fill during this convention. Yes, ma'am. Okay.
Write that down. I've got his hand up.
Yes, sir. Education.
Lisa,
Yes.
Ralph, education.
education committee.
Okay.
Education committee.
I've got Kristen.
Kristen also education committee.
Maybe engagement.
Now,
They don't like
you're providing us domain great, we love it. And we know where you fit. But if we also have some names that we pre-selected
Turn it back
for
around.
other different committee, we'll just ask you to please take a look between those two. When I tell those three people are safe, Ralph, Mandy, and Christian, great. I think you guys will be great for those committees. And who? Edith, yes. And Kulu, you were always on the. You engaged people. Yep.
The ones that we already have.
Okay, so we're just gonna, for the sake of time, we're just gonna go ahead and tell you what we already have, because we know that not everybody's gonna want, people are shy, they don't wanna to put their hands up, but we're gonna have to get this committee filled one way or the other. So go ahead, Madam VP.
Okay, so the development committee, Lena Williams. Yes, ma'am. Clarence. James Jordan, of course, Miss Ursula. And then for the member engagement committee, we have Miss Christine, Miss Colu, Miss Kabbalah, Miss Josephine, and Miss Bendy. So we'll add Miss Edith to that as well.
So Mandy was already part of the engagement committee, so you fit right in.
I think it's only one more for development.
So we need one, we need one more. We need one more on the developmental committee. Yes. So, Gina sent you in the middle. Representative both Spice Girls. So we need one more for the developmental committee. I'm looking at Mr. Nolan. Is a perfect. The developmental committee, sir. It will be an honor if we could, you agree? All right. Yes, sir. All right. All right, I'm not gonna give up my heart, I will spell a mom for this one. But honestly, some people want some time and space to kind of think about it, okay? We got these names now, that's a good start, okay? It's a great start, in fact. And we know that once you have given us your names, you're committed to the cause, because it's gonna take a lot of work, okay? But that's your only focus though. If you're on the engagement committee, that's all we expect you to be doing is staying engaged with our folks and working on that cause. If you're on the education committee, that's your responsibility. If you're on the developmental committee, that's your focus. So at least it's kind of divided up, and we're not asking you to be on more than one committee. So we expect your commitment. But for the rest of us that are not on any committee, I pleading with you. The Sharons, the Spots, the Yata, the Jinda. No, you guys are not. I don't know where you have the full story of Foster, myself, and James, and how we landed where we are today, but everybody can get more. Okay? So I'm begging you people once again to. No, you're not getting more right now, Yata. Let's be honest. Your commitment is up.
Oh, my precious.
No!
Extra step.
We're asking you to just lean in a little bit deeper.
Yeah.
Get on one of these committees. You're
Think about it.
Every.
Yes, sir. Okay.
We're not going to.
Yes, sir. You didn't hear the message that we were
I
given.
did.
We'll talk to you
How
later.
y'all think I stayed?
We'll talk to you later.
How
I
you
will.
guys
So-
I will talk to you later.
Come on, Liz. So. So. For the sake of time and keep the meeting going, again, I'm just speaking to you. Thank you for all those that volunteered, and you're gonna have an opportunity with your meeting chair to be, your regional chairs, to give you a better in-depth understanding of what this committee is about.
Well, I'm gonna handle it.
Yes, ma'am.
While we're asking people to dig a little deeper and put yourself out there on a limb, you guys forgot another committee that we need. I don't know if the committee is the right name, but speaking on behalf of our leader, Paula, who's not here, we need models. Yes. We need models. We need people to step up and become models. So if any of those committees do not sound attractive to you,
How much is that? I was right last year.
just think every year.
Yeah.
You can get you a brand new outfit.
Yes.
My husband asked me earlier, but every year you gotta go make clothes. Yes. You get new shoes, you get to get your hair done, you get to get your makeup done. You get to walk down, help raise money for the organization. So please consider if those committees are not attractive to you, come do something easy. You already beautiful.
Yeah.
So come to the model for you to take.
Excellent. Is there one minute now?
We don't discriminate.
All right, let's get back on track. All right, so I want you to,
One voice, please.
I want you to just kind of put some emphasis on one of these committees. This development committee, right? So we talk about the resource center, we talk about building a school, right? It's gonna do what? It's gonna take some what? Some serious cash, right? So this development committee, in fact, you see, it's not only collection fundraising strategy, but we will soon be launching a capital campaign. BECAA will launch and maybe a 5-year capital campaign. Where we're gonna set some goals. Let's say maybe we say we're gonna raise $500,000 in 5 years. Oh, we can do it, right? And we're gonna do it outside of our pledges now. But it's not gonna take us to raise that $500,000, right? We will have to find maybe a chair for the capital campaign, who is not even a BECA member, but somebody who buys into our concept and can reach out to high net worth people. All you need is one person. Somebody who buys into our idea, who got a lot of money, and then that person got a lot of money, and then they can raise that kind of money for us, right? So part of what the development committee strategy, and I've been asked to also serve as a committee member, all right, to kind of help, use some of my experiences in capital campaigns, etc., to kind of guide this group. But this is huge. We will not build our resource center just on our pledges now. We got the money to kick started, the school, right? But the money to build up and to sustain, okay, for the next 20, 30 years. And so we have to have our own capital campaign. I know this. So this committee got a lot of work to do, but it's not hard work. It's just strategically getting themselves together. All right.
Rashad, sorry.
Oh, okay. So for the committee that have been established, for all the committee members, can I just please ask as a general member that next year when we come, we want to hear from each of the different committees as to what they have done to move this organization forward.
Yes.
So it's not just adding names, because I see some names on there that I don't know, but okay, it's not for me to judge, but it's for you guys to actually do the work. You got a whole year. So we expect you, I'm charging you guys to please do the work, so that next year when we come, I want to see the developmental committee members up on stage or up in the front, giving us feedback on what you have done.
Yeah, fair enough.
With that said, you said next year when we come, we, as in you,
Oh, I'll
also
be there.
committed to being there.
Always.
Okay, Cause I haven't seen it in the last 2 years.
That's not true.
Yeah, no, but to Sharon's point, right? So I think you will see that we're gonna get back to having our quarterly or more frequent meetings, and you will be getting updates along the way.
Yeah.
You know, we're not waiting for a year to come, right? You're getting progress. All right, we got next on the agenda.
We're ready to.
Yeah, Jared, it's on.
Shot just said he wanna be on that developmental, committee.
Okay, okay, so I think is Labira ready?
Let's see.
Yes, sir.
What happened to Vanessa?
You know.
Some meetings, right? Some of us people says, we haven't been coming to the meeting. And, I wanna match like the face or like the name. Can we just let them stand up and look for the various committees so we get the idea so we can see that?
Absolutely, sir. That makes sense. Okay, so.
By the way, I brought in this one, who's I brought in. So you guys clap for me. Yeah. Yeah, I already gave up. Good.
Your name, sir?
Anything.
Okay. So, for the developmental committee, Lena Williams, we stand.
She just left out.
All right, Clarence is not here. James Jordan. Ursula Smith. Please stand. And Gus. Members engagement committee, Christine DeShield.
I'm representing. I'm the Casano Costello.
Myself, Gulu Scott, Josephine Lee, Mandy Morris, and Edith Kirsten Thomas.
Is it your
Hendricks.
Sorry, that's my bad. I'll fix it.
For the education committee, Francine just left. Walked out, Kuala is not here, Miss Michelle Perkins. Elisa. Lawson, Christian.
Please put the S on my name, so that's not Christian Jesus. Mr. Rap Right, please put the S
I'll
on my
put
name.
the S.
Just to go back to Sharon's point. Sharon, you know, like the executive committee, we report to you on a regular basis. That's how we're gonna hold the rest of the 3 committees. We are going to, as the executive committee, we will engage these committees on a monthly basis. So they are going to be giving us feedback. It's not like we're gonna just put them out there and say, go work by yourself. We're gonna work with them. We have members of the executive committee that are gonna be on these committees. And at a quarterly meeting, that means every 3 months, we're gonna engage the entire body. And I'm asking you guys to log on to those meetings because there are times we have the engagement meetings and members don't log on. So you don't get the information that we have. This past year, we have not, I think we had 1 engagement meeting, but we have a calendar of events that will cover the year moving forward. So every 3 months, we will have an engagement meeting with the entire body. At that meeting, there where you will get updates from the different committees that have been set up. And then when we come back to the convention, everything will be summed up in one lump sum, and then we'll be presented to you. But we intend to work. Okay, do we have resources at all?
Yes.
Okay.
Can you appoint us from your-
Jerry, if you can hear us, please, go ahead. You, Mercy, and Mrs. Kamara, or Miss Kamara.
Can you hear me now?
Great.
Yes, we can hear you.
No problem, okay.
Yeah, go ahead, Jerry. If you guys will introduce
So
yourselves.
we're looking was just looking at the document. Hold on. I want another Zoom meeting. Let me check you out of the meeting. Let me leave this Zoom meeting. Then maybe I can go in.
Derek.
He said he coming back. He said he was on our meeting.
No, we're starting with. Okay.
Is he there with me?
Yeah, he's on. He told us to hold on. He was switching for another meeting.
There we go.
Can they see us?
Okay, Jared, can you hear us? Can you see us?
He's look at
Jerry, see out of your face.
yeah, just a minute.
While we're waiting to get to the folks from Bonmines and see the most important part of this.
One voice, please, one voice. Lee. What's wrong?
So while we're waiting for them to adjust their camera and everything on that end, we're going to go into the actual location and Bonmines on what we do. But before we do that, we have two members that would be, or two new hires that would be introducing themselves to the group. But we want to be transparent about everything that we do as executive members and kind of tell you to the most that we can what's happening on the ground at this resource center right now. So as we all, or most of us are aware, Mrs. Jimison was the director, or is the director of the resource center. Mrs. Jimison has been facing some medical challenges over the last year. And the medical challenges have caused her to kind of lose her ability to see. Yes. Wow. It's been down for us as executives that worked with her all these years. So based on that, we had to hire an interim resource center director. And you will meet Ms. Mercy this morning and hear from her. We also hired a librarian who's going to be in charge of the library. As you were aware, last year, we took a lot of books to the resource center. There was already books there, but we really did not have an actual library that students could go into, do their research, have a librarian kind of help them out. So we hired a librarian also. We have one of the top librarians in Liberia that train people at the U.S. Embassy, works at BWI. Really, really knowledgeable lady that's gonna come down to the school once the library is set up to actually conduct the training for these people in Bon Mines. So that's a great news story.
They have an audio problem, so that's why he's trying to fix it.
Okay.
So those are,
You go ahead and I have a question.
okay. So we have Mercy, who's we have Mercy, who's the interim director in Mrs. Jimison's absence. She's starting to take the ball and run with it because Mrs. Jimison is not really on site, so her responsibilities are already increasing. What's the name of the librarian again? Mr. Gray?
Mr. Gray.
Yeah, Mr. Gray, who used to work for Bon Mines during normal days. He's going to be the assistant to the director, and he's going to be the librarian also. In addition to our 3 tutors that are already on campus and Jerry. While we wait for them, we're just gonna keep talking, keep carrying this forward. Yeah, right.
You want me to run it?
Yeah, go ahead.
For the record, Mrs. Famula, I met her. She's a very, very smart lady. She runs BWI library, and she started up. And I was very impressed with her tour of the library. She worked with USAID to do some of the contract with libraries in different schools in US, specifically for Russia. And she also runs the US Embassy Resource Development Center on BWI. That's where the students go to do their research. And I mean, I walked in a place and I was like, wow, wish we would be like this, where they have satellite link and they can pretty much do all of the research. And she's so meticulous about how she does stuff. When you get in BWI library, it's like a library. It may not be as fancy as the library, but all of your books by subject, by year. She has everything listed, and she's so excited to start training. But we had to do some work in the library, so that delayed starting the training. We almost done with the work in the library. We did some upgrade to the resource center, the library, and to the classes, just to make sure the area that we operate represent us as an organization, right? So we redid the flooring, we reinstalled the solar system. We wired it so where they have 24-hour electricity for a place like Bon Mines. We have our generators that we are in the process of building a secure facility where they will not be moving the generator from the school back to Mrs. Jefferson place for safekeeping. The generator will be able to be kept on the facility, and it will be in an enclosed environment that it can use. So I just wanted to add that, but I'm excited about how project training our library also.
While we're excited about hiring new people, have we ever considered Bon Miners that are back home that we can hire also? Because I mean, remember, this is a BECAA Bon Mine kind of thing, and we have people there that are well educated. Are we approaching them, trying to hire some of them? Because I feel like they'll have the same kind of interest in the organization. Just a thought.
I think
That's
both
it.
of
They
them
are
are actually
from
from Fun Lines. both of
They're all
them.
from Beaumont.
I mean, when I say Bon Mines, I they, people that went to school,
Yep.
to the school there and stuff like that.
So Mr. Gray actually went to Zariata School, and I believe he had a short stint with Boncar School. But to your bigger question though, it's impossible to really hire people that went to Beaumont, that went to Beaumont, so live in Beaumont, they don't live in Beaumont anymore. They don't live in Beaumont, and so they're not in Beaumont to be able to do the work that we're requiring people to do in Beaumont. That's just challenging to do that.
Honestly, but people can relocate, and we need to engage some of our people and see if they're willing to make that change. I'm thinking, not to discredit any of the people that we hire. In Liberia, which seriously, if we're gonna build a school, we're gonna need. So they are wanting us to take that into consideration.
Let me just address that for a second. Right? If you look at how much we are paying the staff that is there currently because of that's an organization, right? Already in Beaumont. When you read somebody in Beaumont, you are taking, right? You have to pay them more time in money. You take me from Baruch, where at least I got electricity to move me to Beaumont and be paying the money to cost me to relocate to Beaumont. But two, when I say attended one time I was out of school, when I became from Central graduated. We had out of work, but they attended in Zara School or one Central High School, right? They may have attended at one point in their point somewhere exactly came back and teach English.
That would be something we'll consider when we build a school. These positions we're talking about, they are part-time.
Yeah.
They work 3 days a week, from 2 to 5. So, and they're already there. That's kind of the reason why. But I think to your point, when we build a school, we start looking for teachers and principals, assistant principals, then we should take that into consideration.
Because for now it's part-time.
Work. But that's what,
But even with that though, I have personally engaged, and I don't really want to call names, but I have personally engaged a few bone miners that went to school with us to see if they had interest. Y'all tell you, you're not going to get anybody that live in Monrovia for 30-something years to go back to Beaumont at the rate we're paying or what they're doing part-time to be involved.
But now our project is changing. It's gonna be a bigger project.
Oh yeah.
We're making a bigger project.
Yeah.
Right. We are gonna need that.
Yes.
So we can still engage.
Which is
Because when people look, let me tell you, people live in Monrovia, but we have gold miners that are struggling still in Monrovia.
Yes.
And when we are about building not only a school, but building our gold miners. We want to take all of us out there. We're moving forward. We wanted to move with us. Is that, am I?
No. What you're saying is absolutely true.
If that is, then we have to now start to in this bigger picture that we have in mind to these people. And see what
Do you need to go to the development committee?
Permanency in something they want to be a part of.
What y'all talking to development?
Really, I think so.
Oh, yes, it's true. We've done this.
The bigger picture?
We've done this. We've done this for a long time now. You have great ideas that you bring up. No. It was a question, it's a spot where you're part of the developmental committee, so you can see that question of fruition. That's what I do.
Jared, can you hear us? I don't know if he's gonna hear us yet. Did he say he's okay?
So we'll go back to something else that we discussed last year, that since we're still trying to connect with our folks in Beaumont, we'll go back to something we discussed last year that's been in motion all of this year, and we're almost there. It's incorporation of our organization in Liberia. As you're aware, we're trying to purchase land in Bone Mines for the school that we intend to build in Bone Mines. And a part of that is to incorporate the organization in Liberia so that when we do purchase the land, that is actually purchased in BECAA Incorporated, but not like in the individual's name. So the documents for the incorporation, you know, getting things done in Liberia is complicated. We're all aware that go to Liberia. So Mr. Abraham Tume is our liaison officer in Liberia. He's been working hard. It just takes time to get things done. As of Friday, the document was totally complete. It's at the foreign ministry, requiring one last signature, and then the printer is down. So, so I actually have copies of the document on my phone with signatures on it for that last person. So if one person don't show up to work for a month, that paperwork has to sit and wait until that individual comes to work to sign it. It's just the kind of system that we're dealing with in Liberia. And then from there, they got to put that machine up so they can print that paper to say that process is completed. So hopefully, he is saying by next week, the guy is supposed to be to work to do the final signature, and then we'll be incorporated, registered in Liberia. Now, how long it would take to bring the printer up to print that document is a different story. But at least we'll know that we have been incorporated. We'll have the email with the documents in there. So give us about another week or two, and I'll report back on our chat group that we have our incorporation in Liberia, and now we're moving to the next phase of purchasing our land for the project ahead.
Okay, we're trying to see if they're ready now.
Jared, can you hear us?
Any questions on it?
Jared?
I'm hearing you guys, but it's low yet.
Okay, put your camera on.
Still low yet. I'm hearing my
Turn the video on.
Okay, so we're low over there, I guess.
We low? Yeah. Oh wait, it's probably on there. We just have to stand here and talk. But you can hear me now, Jared?
I'm hearing you, boys. It's not audible enough for the room.
Okay.
We just need to hear that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Okay. Yeah, put your video on.
Yeah.
The max one. Yes. Yeah. Put him up on the max. Yeah. Yeah. We see the video.
We talking. Says the screen.
Jerry, can you hear us?
Okay. Okay. Okay.
But she can hear. Jerry, can you hear us? Jerry?
Any questions on the resource center, incorporation?
Introduce herself and why she wanted the job.
We can hear you guys. We don't necessarily have to hear everything.
You keep my temper. No question.
Because we can't see you.
Just the audio I'm trying to set up.
Yeah, that's on my phone. So there you go. So,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, the thing
He'll talk on the phone.
is not just getting you for your talk. You can get your
So, was the leader here, the chair, so the chair is muted, okay now.
No, you're not muted. You're good.
Ready? All right, ready. Library's on.
Okay. Hey, Miss Mercy. I can't hear. Are they muted on their ends? He's connecting to audio still. Wait. Call them back, Mr. Amy. Hey, wait. You're...
I really to start with join-based organization because I have seen an impact in my life. And moreover, how students have been attending this program, going out there in our life. I decided to be part of the organization, and I know at the grace of God, we all will work together and see how best to carry this organization.
Thank you, Miss Mercy. They're muted on there.
Yeah, we are not hearing it.
Hello, hello. You okay? All right. Before I start, I want to say thanks to the family of BECAA, and we want to say thank you for promoting. All right. Once again, I want to say thank you to the family of BECAA. Thanks so much for your support. We appreciate because your support is giving much development to mold the minds of the children within the community, and we believe that those supports will make us to go another level, and the minds of the children will grow up from what they are to another higher height. We are so grateful for the support. I remain Jerry Thomas Kennedy. Yeah, okay. Okay, let's see if you stand up. So give yourself a round of applause. You can see them. They are remaining. We have Mrs. Jemison here too. And we have Mrs. Jemison here as well. I don't know. You want to talk with her? Yeah, yeah, she's here. She's here. Yeah. Yeah, mom. Yeah, they say you can sit down. I don't work for you, right? All right. Okay. All right. There it is.
Hello to you all. Yes, I want to be grateful to God. Yeah, yeah. I want to be grateful to God for this program. And I say bravo to you all for the level of support that you are giving this program, bringing our children out of darkness to make them know the uh, internet, to be able to control the computer and do other things. Had it not been you, most of them will be left out because they will not have the time to go out to go and get a computer or to attend computer class. But because you look back to see the need of your community that you came from, we are grateful to you. We say thank you. Thank you very much. We appreciate everything you do here. So we put ourselves on the street to do the little we can do to satisfy you too. So we say we are grateful to God and grateful to you too for your kind gesture, for your support, for everything. Because when you hear that we need this, you are on the run to give it to us. So I want to say thank you. Oh, I think, yeah. appreciate it. All right, Jared. Yeah. Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. I appreciate it. I will always be with you. Despite my condition now. But pretty soon you will hear me. I will be seeing you and you will be seeing me. Yes. Yes, I went to a herbal clinic and the doctor told me that I'm not blind. It's just that something is covering my eyes, but they can take it off. Now by surgery, they just give me the drops that I put in my eye. And I can tell you, I'm responding to the treatment. It's just that it's not clear yet. But doctor called me to go back this few days. I will be going back there to stay along with my treatment. So I want to say thank you. And I also want to tell you that when I went to the hospital, to that clinic, it's just like God was directing Bala and myself. That evening he called me and asked me, Mr. Jimmy, how your eyes? And I told him, I said, oh, I just went to the hospital, to the clinic today, and the doctor said he's able to treat me. And he made it that the next day to send me $100 to go and get my treatment. So I want you to, yes, I want you to please tell him thank you for me. Yes, he did it for me. What? Yes. Yeah. I'll be okay. Pretty soon too. And when I come here, I will dance for you. All right. Yeah. Oh. Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Actually, so that we ask that you come out. There are a lot of other students that do not have the facility that you guys have. You have the computer lab, the library is going to be up and running shortly. The tutorial classes are there. It is free. It's for you to utilize. Take advantage of it. The only thing we ask is
Hey, you can steal, I can steal. Yeah.
Okay, Christian and I want to steal the moment because we heard the situation with our director. Ms. Johnson is about 74+ years old. She rides motorbike, she gets in keke to go run after our businesses. Men about will not allow our brothers to in our bureau. She has a situation that we can help. So Christian and I want to challenge all of us here to do a quick collection from Ms. Johnson. So whatever you have, just bring and put it right here. Please. If you don't have it now, just put on a piece of paper. Yeah, please. Yeah. With my secretary, can you get a piece of paper? If you don't have the cash, just tell the secretary to write your name down, please. Send the paper around, please.
With that being said, that's the we should call back, but we need to put money on that table, your money.
That is impromptu. We're still in the business. We need time, please. Just quickly. You can give the secretary.
Oh, you want the secretary, the vice president?
Okay, let's do it. Let's continue this meeting. That's right. You're not saying all right, let's continue the business meeting. Elisa, come on.
Let's see. Inside and see.
You want to contribute to research?
What?
Oh yeah. Okay. Lisa waiting. If you stay, go get in the back. Okay, Lisa, what we got?
Let me get that in so that we know, right?
Regional committees. The regional Minnesota.
No, okay, thank you. Well.
Okay, next on the agenda is.
Mr. President.
So we still working. Okay, you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right, guys, may I have your attention for a few minutes? So we've been working hard. We worked hard during the last administration to get regional bodies up and running. It has been a task. We were able to get the northeastern region up and running. Mr. Jordan here is the regional coordinator for the Northeast region. We got the southern region up for a little bit, but things kind of slowed down. We're gonna work again with that region to see if we can get folks to get more engaged, more involved, because as an organization, we can't just rely on the executive committee to run everything. So I'm calling on my work with Major Howard, Lisa, and myself to stand up the Western region, and because he engaged them, things was looking kind of all right, and then it faded away. So we know with the recently retired Marine, we're going to get things going in the Western region. So, Raf, I'd like to say congratulations, sir, on stepping up to the plate and taking on that role. The major and myself get on you, but we're going to work with you. So, and this is what I would say: when you get a phone call from your regional leader, we're not trying to pester, like we're just trying to get you involved so that we can move this organization forward. From Mrs. Jemison, from the staff and the kids, we are having an impact. When you go and visit the facility and you see those students, just imagine we had the only computer facility out there. Nobody's right? When you see those kids coming, you got that have never touched a computer before, that are teaching the kids, that have never seen a computer before. What we are doing there matters. It's impacting lives. Twice a year, I travel back to Liberia, and I make it my business to go back and visit. When Bada goes, he does the same thing. Basi goes, he does the same thing. When Leonard go, we all go back. And BECA don't pay our way. We go, we care. Period. Because we care. Because we know if we weren't making an impact, it really won't matter to me, but we are. Those kids are our future. It's the future of our area. And if we want to change Liberia, we got to start from the grassroots, because the politicians that are there, they already gone. They're corrupt. There ain't nothing you can do to change that. We got to change the kids. So when we engage you to get involved in your regional, body, please, please, please,
Right.
don't just walk away. Think about it. You may not say yes there and then, but go home and think about it. It's the sacrifice that every one of us here. So, Mr. Jordan, if you want to come to give us some updates on the Eastern region, we appreciate it, sir. All right.
Morning again. So, God knows most of the BECAA members are living in the Northeast. So we carried the majority of the weight of BECAA. So what we this year, we said, because the whole entire Northeast cannot be on one chapter. So we decided that we're going to make 3 chapters within the Northeast. So what we did, we said the whole New England states plus New York will be chapter 1. Let me step back for a second first. I'm sorry. The Northeast consists of a board by itself, just like the executive body. And we have Josephine as the treasurer, secretary, sorry, secretary, because we can meet this now. Voila, which is not here current right now, but I think we all know her. She is my assistant, co-coordinator. And which is Nema L. Hey. So we have that May, Kuala, Nema, and Joseph. So we serve just what you see as a body, as an executive body for the Northeast. We said, okay, because our more members. And so we have to now divide this into 3 chapters. Then we said, all right, you want a phone? So then we said chapter 1 was going to be the whole entire New England states plus New York. Then that chapter 1 going to have also 5, but because we were striving, we're just getting this outgoing, starting from the bottom. It's hard to start something. So sometimes someone might have to play dual roles. Or whatever, till we finally fit in those vacancies. So I spoke to Jerry, then I spoke to the sister called Benu Brown. And she said she was willing to help to be part of that chapter 1. See, I don't have to call the list yet now, but then we said from New Jersey, Delaware, and Pennsylvania was going to be chapter 2. And we had a few volunteers. I'm sorry, I don't have my records here with me, but I believe Catherine Peabody said she was going to volunteer on one of those positions. I forgot which one she said she was going to volunteer to be on. And then we said the DMV states, the Maryland, the Virginia, and the Washington, D.C. states, that's going to be chapter 3. So the entire Northeast has an executive body, that what you see here. Now it's broken down into 3 chapters, and each chapter has its own body. But then again, I'm going to sound like I'm repeating myself because of membership trying to fit in the vacancy to have people playing dual roles in those vacancies. Till now we have people today who want to volunteers to fit in the vacancies, then we can fill up other vacancies. Then we're now going to have a real body moving forward. So now what we have now, we have a skeleton crew. Right. Correct? Yeah. So today, I'm encouraging again, those that want to help in those positions, just let me know before we leave out of here, and then we're gonna plug in on those vacancies. Okay, we really do need the vacancies to be filled, because other than that, it's gonna be the 1 or 2, 3 person just run the whole entire again. And we don't want to run this as 1 or 2 person. And one thing I bring, I mean, I'm gonna keep stressing on this as long as I sit on this body, is we as an executive body cannot run this entire of BECAA with a scattered crew. It's not fair to those that are running it, number one. Number two, they'll get burnt out. Number three, a lot of frustration. And number three, then not part of it, you don't really get the impact. We can just come on the week, once a week, and and then we leave, and then it stays there. And trust me, if we run that program this way, trust me, it's gonna be a lot of things. Because I can say this now because I'm a little more involved, and let's just try to fill the vacancy so that we can be part of it. Because the more ideas we get, the better. Not just the few ideas is one organization. So we really need your help to step up. Again, we the Northeast, we have more membership. Join us for to move this organization forward. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have your attention, please. Right, you want to say something?
Somebody got PTSD and sick in the
I do have PTSD, but I'm getting paid for it, so tax free. I know Bala had everything to do with this. Talking to AB, that's how my name came up. But I was taking it wrong with it. I'm sorry. So Jordan was saying here, my first BECA convention was 2010. No, it was 2010. That was my first convention in, what was it, Maryland? Yeah. Rest of the time, I always try to attend when I'm in the country. The job I did for the last 24 years, they always had me somewhere in the world. Well, that ended on the 30th of April. So right now, I'm on a 6-month sabbatical because my wife put her foot down. She said, you gotta rest yourself. So I'm not working right now, just enjoying flying state to state. But back to me trying to stand up or run a Western conference. Avery and myself had this conversation back in 2020 when I was in naval postgrad in Monterey, California, and he wanted me to get with some of my folks on the West Coast. I did. I got hold of the Nimlin family, the Keenan family in Sacramento, stuff like that. But because of the curriculum, I naval postgrad, it was kicking my butt, so I had to focus on my education. So I tried to talk to them, but the rent never went through. I graduated and then spent all last year in East Africa chasing bad guys. So that's why I missed last year's convention. But again, like I said, it's over. So now that I have the time on my hand, contrary to what Bob was saying, I was late and getting here. Like I'm here.
Yeah, that's right.
Before, everything I did was involved life and death. Now it's not life and death, so I take my own time to do my stuff now. But I would definitely take up that obligation. I'll run with it. California is just driving distance for me, so I can get in my car and drive up to California. And of course, I will get in touch with those people, make that list, and hopefully by next convention, I will have some people here from California.
Yes, sir.
The people to run this organization.
Okay, that's
Okay, so
no, we don't have a self-rating.
all right. So that's it for the various region, what I would call the subdivision of BECAA. But folks, we need your engagement. We really do need your engagement.
It's one of those things where we come every year, we gather, we have fun, and on Sunday we go back, and some folks wait for the next year. You can't operate that way. You can't. It's like, you know, you go to work, and as soon as you get to work, you just sit at the desk and you do nothing. Doing the 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours, you got to don't do anything. At the end of the day, you leave, next day you come back and do the same thing. Mazi drugged me to the executive committee. Literally. I mean, I was the secretary, right? Forced me to be the secretary for a while. But when I became you get to see the bigger picture. You get to understand you know, but it just goes to say we're not going to be here forever. You guys are the future leaders of this organization. I encourage you to take it, get engaged right now, start learning what we do. And when we are no longer here, it keeps going. It doesn't turn off when I was turned off. This might be saying it from the bottom of my heart because I love work. He didn't want to go.
No, they gave him food.
No. Right.
Hold on one second. Hold on.
No, give us the
Yeah, but better to get them. Yeah, it really is.
Thank you, Development Chair.
Exactly. Okay, so I'm up next, right? Yeah. All right, so let's talk about money.
The most important part of this weekend.
All right, ready?
No, the computer's kind of freezing up, so let me stop sharing.
Stop sharing. See you there.
But not
See you
here.
there, but not on this.
We're not done.
You calling it from here?
Yeah, no, for anywhere, it doesn't matter.
There right now.
It's unfortunate, it is sad.
I have an idea.
We have a guest speaker this evening that is not a Latino. We cannot continue.
So we're met, as I said, so we have to submit a report to. Okay, all right, next slide. Yeah, at every convention, we always recap. How did we do? How did those three people back there, the host for a Rhode Island convention, how did you guys perform? You want to know, right? Yeah. Right. Okay, so a recap from last year. So in our annual pledges, the commitment, right? This is money raised now, right? So I'm trying to give you some background, the framework. So money raised, okay, we raised 70,000 as a total raise, potential impact. Potential. That means that if we collect on all of our pledges, 100% of our pledges, we will hit $70,000 to the bottom line for BECAA from this convention. All right. So this, but here's the good thing about it. The potential impact was almost $71,000. They only spent $4,700 for this entire convention.
That's awesome.
That's it. Wow. There we go. You remember we said we wanted to cap convention spending no more than $5 grand, right? Remember we said it? Yeah. We're gonna cap it, and we'll be holding it though. Yeah. We'll be holding it. Okay. All right. So now let's go to the next slide. Okay. So this next slide. See, I didn't highlight out the yellow thing there. So that was as of whenever I updated this report about 3 days ago. Okay. So this is the pledge summary, right? Of the $40,000 in pledges, we have collected 54% of those pledges. So a total of $21,000 we have collected to date. So we still have $18,000 balance. But in fact, as of today, I think we are almost 60%. 60%, yeah, close to that. But we're gonna get there. We're gonna get to, I believe last year we did, I think 81%. That was pretty good, right? You know, I mean, we've done better than that. Right. We've done like 94% before collecting on our pledges. You see these pledges here? These are just BECA people. They're, you know, we're not, I mean, our friends and BECA members that are contributing. But we always challenge the executive committee. So for you who become, yeah, join the club. And it's called a 100% club. 100% club. That means that if you're a leader in this organization, a member of the executive committee, we have to set example. So we make sure that amongst ourselves, we pledge 100%. It doesn't matter how much you pledge now. You can pledge $5, you can pledge $10,000. As long as you pledge and you pay 100%. So when we come and ask you for money, we want to say, we are leaders, right? We're leading by example. So the executive committee last year, all of pledge, the total pledge that we made as leaders was $18,000 $800. That's 46% of the total number. Came from the leaders, right? From us. Now we're collecting, we hit 100% as of when I did the report with 46%. And that number has even gone up since then. I don't have the number. But at the end of the day, we will be 100%. I can guarantee that. If not, I will stand it and I will take care of the rest. We were the next line. Okay, the models. Oh, this model, man, I'm telling you, look at the impact it made to BECAA since we started this since 2012. The raise was $60,000. Wow. Give them a hand. $60,000. Look, but look at what Kuala. Kuala. They gave it up for Kuala. It was Kuala's decent. Okay, on our 10th anniversary, we raised $367, right? $367, and look how we have progressively increased those numbers along the way. Now, COVID, 2020, that was the biggest. You see that little chart that I got, kind of going out like this.
Yeah, the virtual convention.
The virtual convention, kill it, right? Because we didn't travel, right? Everybody just poured the money there, and you guys stood up. But look, we have consistently raised money to these models. So, I mean, kudos to you guys. Keep it up. We need more models. All right. And yes, let me tell you why. Let me tell you why we need more models, right? There's some fatigue. I don't even have to look in your face, but I can look at the numbers and I can see fatigue in the numbers. All right. But if you look at from the virtual convention, right? $19,000. We went to Woodbridge, 15 grand. We went to Providence, 14. That fatigue, right? The number not going, you're not going up now. It's slowly declining. So we need more people, more models to come in, so we can do it. So next time I present this slide, they can be like this. All right. So I'm beginning to see the fatigue. So we're ready to. Yeah. Okay. Now, this is what we do a comparative analysis of convention. We want to see who will carry the record.
It's me.
Okay, who will carry Texas had the bragging rights for a long time as the most successful convention, but then they kill it. Somebody else kill it. So I look at 5 years, right? So if you look at Houston, okay, and what I look at is I look at what I call the net revenue. Not what we pledge, not what the net. What fall down in the bank, all right? Okay, so you look at the impact, right? So Houston. Okay, so if you look at my graph, I like graph. Right? Okay, the red line, okay, represents the total revenue, right? The blue bar, okay, represents net. So you look at a blue bar, right? Yeah. And then the green one represents the total expenses. So you remember I told you, so we want to keep it around 5 grand. So if you look at the green, you see that, you see it? Mm-hmm. Right on the 5,000 now, right? We keep it steady. The virtual convention, we spent $260 to upgrade our Zoom account. But so we keep it steady, right? So if you look at, so you see how the red kind of keeps going up, right? That means that we are progressively raising the bar every year. Now, net-wise, okay? Virtual convention obviously had a net. They had it because we only spent $260, right? And we raised $46,000. I mean, we raised 46 grand. We net up almost 46, right? But look what happened in Woodbridge. Okay, Woodbridge, we did $47,900. We netted 43. Providence. Kill it. It's still coming. You say you got another $1,000? Yeah. Okay, so we had it up there. So Providence, okay, total revenue so far that we collected just from Providence Impact. Okay, $52,906. They spent $4,000, and right now we got and they netted $48,800, and it's going up. So right now, Providence You got it bragging right. You got it bragging right. Okay, so can I have a valid chapter? No pressure. Next slide. Okay, so now let's just get into some of the financial summary here, right? So this is our year to date. Our fiscal year starts on August 1st, and then it ends on well, yeah, it ends in July 31st, right? But this is the financial based on the financial report that I got. It's based on June 30th. Okay, so that's on June 30th. Okay, we started off the year. Okay, August 1, we had $150,000 in the bank. Okay, we deposited $18,000. Okay, and so you heard me say the people netted $49,000 and when I had $18,000. You know how much money we deposited in the bank in the last 2 weeks?
Yeah,
oh my God! In fact, almost $17,000 already hit the bank. Okay. So what happened was, so when we left Providence, right, all the money we deposited in Providence, we deposited. So you will not see it yet because we deposited it in July, right?
Last year.
Okay. So July. So then we started to collect on pledges. Okay. So this is where so we spent $14,000, and then as of that day, 6:30, we had $153,000 in the bank. Today, well, I will tell you that's another slide. Okay. So now this is how we see how we spend the money. Membership dues. I mean, where the money is coming from, right? Membership dues, $1,000. The pledges that we're going to ask you guys to commit tonight, with 89%, okay, of our revenue intake comes from our pledges and our commitment to BECA. And then a fashion show, somebody already has given us $75, and then we already start to collect ticket money. You know, so you kind of see this is the breakdown of what you see on the top. Next slide. And then this is our expenses. What I call the general administrative expenses, PO box, Delaware taxes, registration, all this stuff. We got to do bank transfer fee, website, all of it amount to $2,800, 19%. So far, as of that day, June 30th, we have only spent about $1,000 on the convention. We've already taken care of everything, so we'll show up our this month financial. And then the program support. Why do we do this, right? We set a goal. Okay, when we told the IRS as a 501c3 organization that I will commit, we get in the ask about what percentage of your spending will be on your program. I would say about 48% at the time. Okay, we didn't even like that number. Okay, and we said look, we're striving to exceed that number because the money we raise, we don't want to just spend all on convention. That will keep the conventional spending. That's our biggest expense, right? But we want to spend a lot of our money on the programs. Okay. So we spent about $11,000, which is 74% of our total revenue. Okay, so our total expense is $14,000. All right, so I would like to say how this convention shaping up. This I didn't know how like these things are, but that's the whole number, right? When I updated it, you can't even see it.
36 or 35.
Well, that's old. So we had about 100 DPA members by that time. The models you guys have raised somewhere over $1,000 right now, but I'm not worried about it because it's coming tonight. The bank balance account right now is over $157,000. So that's what got in the account. And guess what? The convention paid for.
Yeah.
So nothing coming up. Everything you got put in there now that go to the bottom line. The convention has been paid for. Everything associated with the convention is already paid for. And we're sitting at over $157,000 in the checking account. Move on. No, wrap this up. Okay, so not only do we have to I keep away your money, but we got to take out taxes. Okay, so we're registering instead of Delaware in the Commonwealth of Delaware. We got to do the franchise tax fee, so we pay that every year. In February, we do March 1st. I do it on the 25th, and I do our federal tax return. Also, the same time I do the state to kind of just keep it, keep my mind going. Once I start taxes, that's it. All right. I want to show you guys. You see right there in the bottom, I say BECA annual gross receipts. I want you to look at that number. I always say, right now we have to do the easy form. because our total calendar year revenue is less than $50,000. And I always say when we start hitting that more than $50,000 mark, we have to get an accountant, a CPA to do BECA taxes, right? All right, so you look at your watch that number. So it's not just a single year total, right? It's based on your 3-year average, including the current year. So I begin to start running some analysis here. So you see 2020, we did 48,000, 2021, 8,000, 2022, $52,000. So the 3-year average is 41. So we're very close. All right, so we didn't have to get a CPA this year.
We're there now.
All right. So depending on how we ship at the end of December, because it's the calendar year, right? By December 31st, based on what we raise, maybe the 2020 would drop, right? And then so 21, 22, and then 23. So depending on what we do in 23 this year, will trigger that. Okay, so that's something that we got to keep an eye on. So, but the taxes are due in May. So by the time we close the year, boom, I'll say, okay, I will run the numbers. It's time for us to engage. Okay.
So you want to do it next?
No. That's a good problem. That's a good problem. That's a good problem to have, right? So, but we get it there. Look, and we've come a long way, right? It took us a while for us to start to get here, but we are moving forward, right? That means we are progressing. All right, so keep an eye on that, and I will keep you guys informed. Okay, next. And then so after all my financial thing that I have to do, I have some bosses. 2 of my bosses here. Ursula and what Mandy? Oh, Mandy. Okay, Sangeet not yet. Those people gotta make sure that I do not fully business with your money. They're my bosses. They keep an eye. They provide financial oversight for this organization. So every year before this convention, I have to give in everything: the bank statement, the receipt. What else? I mean, every transaction, cash app, every single transaction. You got a binder? Yeah. Let me just every transaction. I have to compile it. We used to do 3-ring binder, but now we got internet now. We upgrade, so we don't have to do the first. She puts it in the binder. So I prepare this report. You look through this report. Just look at Zoom. I'm gonna pay for Zoom. Okay, everything. Deposit slips, everything you can think about in this here, bank statements, all of it, they're compiled and they're provided to this financial review. They do an independent review of the committee, of our financials. And they come up to me with a question though. Some of them can say, I'll say, well, can you please clarify this, right? Because that means that they're doing their job. So they'll come back to clarificate, they'll come back with questions, I provided questions, and I work with them, and I get any information. And then when they are done, they will prepare a report. They are mandated to prepare a report of the financials, a report to this organization. So without further ado, I invite the chair of our financial review committee to come.
Thank you. All right. Okay. So, do I need to introduce myself? Ursula Smith.
Yes, please. Yes, please.
See, Ursula Smith, Mandy is here, Sangeet is not here.
And the mandate and everything.
And the mandate, everything is there what we're supposed to do, okay? And then that is our task. Review financial records, review financial controls and procedures, and then report findings to BECAA membership at its annual meeting. Okay? So I'm just going to skip all that since it's right there. I'm going to go to our responsibility. Responsibility is to conduct an audit
for the purpose of expressing an opinion on the financial statements, the procedure as a whole, and to obtain audit evidence about the amounts and disclosures in the financial statement. The audit was conducted in accordance with general auditing standards. These standards require that we perform a fiscal year audit to obtain reasonable assurance about whether the financial statements are free of material misstatement due to error or fraud. In conducting this audit for this fiscal year, we review and examine all the monthly statements, verify all amounts deposited and all amounts withdrawn. We also review and evaluated the internal controls as per the association guidelines. Our conclusion and opinion. Lock the doors. All right, on a serious note, after a detailed review, it is the opinion of this committee that the financial statements provided represent the true and accurate financial position as of the fiscal year under review. We observed that all deposits, withdrawals, and disbursements of funds were properly reported and documented. Based on our review, we are not aware of any material modifications that should be made to the accompanying financial statements or the association guidelines for collecting and depositing funds. At this time, we have no financial review recommendation. We'd like to acknowledge and appreciate the time, dedication, and cooperation from the treasurer. Conducting this financial review, we also want to thank the administration for the opportunity to serve on this financial review committee. Respectfully submitted by Mindy Morris, member, Sandy Dolly, member, Ursula Smith, chair.
Okay, one last line. That's how you give. 6 easy ways to give. We're a 501c3 organization, tax exempt. Yeah, so look, they're easy ways to give, right? You know, y'all heard the committee will do a better job. We got a new committee now, development will be engaging you guys early on pledges. But for some people who want to do easy payment, okay, you can do, in fact, I know Hans, you set up your, yes, you set up, no, it wasn't you. Oh, yes, yeah. Oh, yes. Come on, come tell her how to do it. Yeah, Edith. Yeah. Yeah, so, and if you want to know how to do it, you must see Edith. Because you know how to do it.
Hi, everyone. Hi. So we come every year, we make our pledges. So in order to meet that goal, what Michael and I, what we do is we set it up like one of our bills. So we created the bill pay and we just have it there. Click on BECAA, and you depending on what you want to do. You want to do 50, you want to do $25, whatever. But faithfully the whole year, you're just sending it. So sometimes by the time you're done, when you get here, you already pay your dues.
Thank you. And look, and it's consistent. I mean, it comes faithfully, right?
Yes.
And you know, it comes in the mail. I get a check in the mail. Michelle checked the mail, but she said, "Oh, Edith, check yeah." I said, "Put it right, put your my address or so."
Yes, I know a couple of years ago I used to do my pledges something form.
Yeah.
But I think when you move, you change that.
The address. It was the address.
Okay. So I can still go back up to the address and do that.
All right, yeah, you can do that. Okay. And then another thing you can do payroll. Your employer will allow you to do payroll deduction and send it to BECAA. In fact, I did it at some point. Every paycheck, I'd get in an amount, my payroll department, and I didn't even see the money. It went from my paycheck straight into the BECAA account. You know, just you can do it. You can just set it up that way. You know, most of you have direct deposit, right? Okay, so all you have to do is to go to your payroll company and say, I got a third account, and then get in that information and say, okay, take this amount of money and put it into that account, and it will be deposited every month. It's easy. You don't see it. You don't see it as a spin, right? You don't feel it. So you just take your total amount pledge, and if you get paid monthly, you divide it by 12. If you get paid every week, you divide it by 52. If you get paid every 2 weeks, you divide it by 26. If you get paid twice a month, you divide it by 24. See me, all right? I'm on that school. All right. So that's how you do it. So any questions before I take my seat?
It says that no refund.
Transfer the money back.
Tell them how to speak.
No. If you overpay, then you can definitely do it. I don't like to give refunds. Let me tell you this. I do not like to give people refunds. I mean, we did it one time. My God. Yeah, and we'll never do it again. So in fact, somebody was doing automatic. We got, in fact, one of our payment methods. No, we got Square. You can go to the Square link that I always send on the chat line. You can actually set it up for monthly payment. You see your credit card. There's a one-time payment option. That's the amount in there, right? And then every month they would just send us they would deposit the money to our account. Now, you have to remember when you want to cut it off, and you got to call me up, then I can stop. Right? So I every month, and then she said, "Oh, I think I'll be finished paying my pledge by next month." I said, "Okay." I put it on the calendar. By the time my last payment came out, I shut it down. All right? Any more questions? Good. All right. Thank you.
Let's go ahead and amend the constitution for the development committee.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We have a copy. We have a copy.
Okay, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I've been asked by what I would consider a legal proceeding. On Secretary, can you put it up to 15? Okay, can you put it in 20? Yeah. Sorry. Okay, the executive committee wants us to grant them the position.
One voice, please.
Okay, to do 2 amendments. We are seeking your permission to increase the annual membership due from $100 to, I think, what, $150. The second proposition is they are seeking your permission to have ad hoc committees as member of the executive committee. The chairpersons for ad hoc committees. And we normally pay our responsibility to follow the guidelines of our constitution.
talking about membership due, we're looking at people paying $100 a month, and we still cannot meet on a consistent basis 30 members paying their membership due consistently. So, about that.
Let me add for you. So part of the membership due, you get a ticket to go to the bank, right?
Yeah.
And we're paying you like almost $40. Usually, I mean, it's about $30 to $40 a head, to host a person at an event like this. So right there, $40 a member, you're $100 going to help you, for the dinner tonight. So yeah, for the food. So I just wanted to put that out there.
Can I make an interjection, please? Before if maybe the body can follow what I was saying.
I'm already standing up.
Constitutionally, you can still say, constitutionally, this body cannot discuss this subject matter according to our constitution until the executive puts it in writing. I think we are violating the constitution.
I agree.
No, we're not taking it up for decision. It's a discussion.
Yeah, but you cannot discuss in absence of written communication.
We cannot move forward with the amendment because we did not get 30 days. Does not mean we cannot discuss it for further deliberation.
The body will discuss it.
The body will discuss it. It's just
You are not formally with the body. You have to respect the constitution.
I didn't know which one it was.
We cannot discuss it. That is not correct. That is completely correct. Go ahead. Show some respect. All right. Idea is great, but I would think ultimately. You never know, like. $150. $150 must be in general public. I mean,
The computer's frozen, sorry.
By communicating with the general body, and then actually basically it won't fit. It's a suggestion to enough, and then the general body can decide.
So let's go ahead. Let's move on to the AOBs.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first one was the next gen conversation. Go ahead.
Okay.
You can just put the screen back up.
Okay, so.
It was Jerry, sorry, we're good.
Okay, so under Voss's. And so I cannot make it my whole credit go to Ms. Lush, who is president. Because it takes it to Russian. He is president for a reason. So it was his idea for us to form next gen. And he really, really did a great job at trying to get it started, but it didn't take. Now I am taking responsibility and taking the lead on because I dropped the ball. Vasa had a great idea. I said, we have children. It's going to come to a point where this organization is going to start to die off. It is based on what we do that our kids will get involved. And we've seen a very, very good example, what we call a typical case study with Elisa. Parents from Beaumont and on to the executive committee and made her a secretary when we needed one. And she's done it. From secretary to now vice president, who know what the future has. So it's just a case study, but that can be replicated with a lot of our kids within BECA. So comes next gen. Yeah, right now for next gen is to start softly. You know, these kids born here, you can't just impose things on them. So you gotta gently, very, very gently. But at least we're thinking about some kind of virtual conversation, helping the kids understand where their parents came from. Be committed to this organization. That's out of high school, we have some teenagers, a lot of kids. So what we want to start doing is to build a database, a Google form where these kids can fill out their information. Let us just have that data, and then we start to plan something for a discussion with the kids. Mr. Perkins has Jason that's very interested. Jason actually tried to pay his membership bill. He commits he pays it. And Darling Kids, the last time we were in Woodbridge, they made contributions also. So the Shaka kids that he brings here a lot of times. So the kids have be able to find a way to reach them. And so we're just trying to have you open your minds to having the discussion with your kids and having them understand that we're going to be reaching out through you, the parents. You need to have that initial discussion with the kids. And I mean, this goes for everybody. Try to talk to your kids and have them understand where you're coming from and what you're involved in and what you're. We're hoping to really, really develop it to the point where when we go for convention, kids are also coming along for convention, and we can have a part of the convention just for the kids. And I guarantee that these kids have way more advanced ideas on ways to do things than we do. Because that so this is the only way that we can try to continue this organization. And I'm asking you guys to come up with ideas to help this. We haven't had like a formal committee set up for this yet, but it's in a very nascent stage. So we're just kind of throwing ideas out there on how we can develop this to make it relevant. But again, this was Vasa's idea. This was a great one. I'm going to take the ball and I'm going to try to run with it to make sure that by the time we come back to the next convention, we can have the kids already registered. To be a part of BCA. And again, it's going to be their idea, because for this next gen, you can't tell them what has to come from them, and then you guys kind of work to find a balance on how we can move forward. It's also put into what we're trying to accomplish. So that's the whole thing about next thing. Fred Jr. is going to be the president of BCA. Anyway, 2035. Oh, if I'm walking, Sharon, I don't know where Abraham would be. Yeah, so that's next gen, and what we're trying to do with it. So if anybody have any ideas, we could quickly discuss it before moving on. And we're on AOB, we're moving on to the next AOB. I'm sure you guys probably have some ideas that you.
Well, one of the big ideas behind that is for you to allow your children to document your stories, right? We don't have any, I keep asking this every year. We need to document your story, Mr. Christian. So if you want your child to interview you, then we'll reach out to your kids first, okay? You understand that one? Okay, good. Any other ideas to engage your children?
Oh, yeah, but it's not, don't say no paper to them. I promise you, dead in the water with Jason already.
I was just gonna say, whatever year we choose, maybe to go real, like, you know, like.
To go live with it.
For the kids, maybe we'll do something. I said, my dog used to get on the phone and. And then just hold in so they focus on them. You know, let them take control of it.
I think the guys get with the gym group. They're gymnasts that can come up with their own plan because their minds are wired differently from ours. So we can sit here and come up with ideas all day and then shoot all of them.
Yeah. I guess the main request for now is for you, the parents, to have that opening conversation with them on the importance of Beaumont to you and the importance of this organization to you. Because once you do that, now the door is open. And once that door is open, then we can get them and they'll understand what's important to you is going to be kind of important to them from a certain aspect.
No, that's true. That's true.
What I would suggest is that for the next gen, if we can incorporate something that we're attracting to come. So that will be a start. So that a lot of them know what we've brought our kids throughout, but it's always been the same format. You have the welcome party, which they can't come, or they come this late. You know, so we got a location we're going to next. Try and incorporate if it's a music theme, something that we can say, you know what, come with me on this trip and you're gonna have fun. So that they can see them while they're with us for that weekend.
I think even better though, Sharon, is that not for us to make the decision on what to attract them.
So we're planning to have that call in October.
Is that once we start that dialogue, is for them to tell us what they would like to do during that next convention, and then we can have that conversation throughout the year, and then implement that during the next, execute that.
For example, right, Friday, we do our work. When the day comes Friday, we give them that space, or even on Thursday, come Thursday. But they come up with one day or 2 days, like 3 days business meetings. After this, they have I don't mind. The fact-
I was about to say three of them just walked in, and if don't want to put them on the spot, maybe they can speak up and tell us, yeah, say something. Yeah. So yeah, I said if they want to, I just Michelle, they might want to, you don't know. That's what I said. I said they might want to.
All right, so the bottom line though, please speak to your kids and tell them about BCA, like Sharon said, some of them already, they know of us, but they don't really know intimately what we do or what we stand for. So just kind of open their minds to that. And then I'm gonna talk to you guys personally, those of you guys that I know that have kids, to at least fill out the Google form, the Google Doc with their information. And if I don't reach out, please reach out to me if you can. So let's get this thing started.
So I'm thinking, I know those kids, we think they're kids, but they have their life agenda, like we have ours. So let's do a hookup. A hookup in that they meet through the internet.
That's what we're planning.
If they got their life thing to do, okay? But if they hook up and start becoming friends from just communicating on the internet, we're more likely to start something. Bringing them here, just like that, first of all, they got their own thing. So, you count yourself lucky to get them to come with you. Their own parents. Y'all know we think we're young, but y'all know they think we're old. Y'all know that. So a hookup, doing things on the internet, that way they get to know each other. Some of them they're lonely, they can get friends, they can make friendship through that. And then, they can tell us something about them getting together.
Yeah. No, that's the plan. That's the plan.
Yeah, I think we'll be going somewhere.
Yeah.
But bringing them here on a weekend when we're here, I'm sorry. But then just try.
Just to add to what Juan said, what Yata said, I was able to get my son on a plane from Phoenix to Virginia in a year. My intent was to have him here this morning to listen to this. That didn't work. And one of the reasons why it failed because his buddy Jason Perkins is not here. Right? They may communicate, but that part fell off because their love for soccer generated to something here. So
the thing we're all
on the same page.
They will drive the agenda. Whether they want to be here,
right?
Whether they want to do it online, however they want.
And we already have it on the calendar for October to get them together. It's already in the calendar. Correct. Yes. Correct. Of course. Of course. Right. Yes. Oh yeah, no, I understand.
Yeah, we're taking that into consideration. Yeah. All right. That's it for next year.
A couple of years ago, we initial planning for hosting the convention in Beaumont. Then we started putting the community together in some way.
That should be what, 2027 we said, when we get 25? Or like groundbreaking.
Our 25th year,
which would be
which we've come too close to now, and we haven't planned.
2027? You got time.
Why am I thinking 23?
No, we're 21.
That's true. What's our 25th anniversary? Our team will be right at school. Dedication of that school can easily attract us all.
Groundbreaking is what we said.
Groundbreaking. Yeah, groundbreaking. I mean, like if we double that to Oh, it'll still take us a time to build. If you got the funds.
We gotta also have the
We gotta get the
staff.
funds and have the, yeah, have the sustaining portion. I think we should look at groundbreaking. Idea, the thing is just, or something. That's 4 years from now.
All right, he wants to erect a committee, so what are we saying? We're gonna revisit it, or? Are we gonna revisit that? Okay, so we will. We'll talk about it as the executive. We'll bring it to the next meeting. And then, anything else? AOB, any other AOBs? Well, we can, when we present that package, we've introduced it, then we'll discuss that.
Any other?
Next on the agenda. Okay, so let's vote on the next agenda location. Any ideas? Yes.
So we're setting out a business.
So maybe I'm a little bit slow, right? I'll put up myself to be a little bit slow. I heard Wellington's financial report. That's a good amount of money. I'm sorry. I know you guys are already for your needs. The whole is small. Then $152,000. 57. It's a lot of money. Else, but that's a lot of money that I see sitting there. We're talking about increasing dues. So what is our plan for this group of items? So at least put a land. I heard school.
That's the plan?
School. No, hold on. Please. I beg you. Thank you, bye. We got, I'm hearing the conversation, school. I was proud that we've done that for those kids to impact their schools. But we are all getting old. We can sit here and talk Generation X. Well, I want to see that we have built a school that even if I don't go back to my age, I don't know if I'm going to go. But if Special, who's always there, Baba, you always there, we can say that's our school. We all, even if it's a land, a brick or foundation or something that we want to see. We are talking 21 years. We gotta move forward besides this whole resource.
Okay, wait. She just doesn't know. It's okay. So tell her why what we've been doing and why.
So why are you doing what?
All right. Hold on. May I have your attention, please? Let me just respond to Sharon. Yeah. So, Father went over it a few minutes ago. We missed that part, right? We had to get incorporated in the work. We already have engaged
in the land, right?
We've already done that, but we will not violate in somebody's name. We have to buy in BECAA's name, right? So, Father just a few minutes ago, he said, we're in the process. By next week, we will be incorporated in Liberia. Then we can go back to the lady and say, look, we're ready to buy this here in BECAA's name. We don't want to violate Abraham Richardson name. So I can go back and take a deed and say, you know what, I don't know BECAA. This is my lady. So we have spoken to the lady, I've met her.
We've seen the land.
Has engaged her. We have seen the land. We posted a picture of the just the executive, right? Well, we do our due diligence by showing you guys a picture of the land.
Thank you.
But we build our own school. Period.
Sharon.
Wait. about the way things flow, because we could be here in the same convention and we could still be engaging in this identical conversation. We're not, we got off a functioning country. We're not in America. Yeah, so that's how we gotta approach things. Incorporation of an organization should not take this long.
Right.
Okay, but it's taken us a long time to have gotten it into the foreign ministry to where it's at right now. We would love us to go to Liberia and buy a land, but we can't of the organization money.
Right.
So it's gonna take us a while to investigate and make sure that whatever land we're purchasing for BCAA is actually purchased. So even though we've done all of this coordination with different people, but we're going to go on the ground and make sure that when we give the people the money that we've done our due diligence to somebody don't come back a few years and say, oh, now we'll let their land. So you just gotta bear with us and know that we are working diligently towards it. But if based on what's happening in Liberia, it could just take us a little bit more time. But it doesn't mean that we drop the ball. It's not our interest, because whatever is the interest of this body is at the highest priority of the executive. So just know that. And then every night you gotta listen. Because if you miss the whole incorporation part of the meeting, how do you miss it? How do you miss that part? Well, no, we get it there. We get it. And no, but the good thing, Sharon, I like the way you want it to happen. Yeah. I like your conviction of making it happen, because that's exactly how we wanted it to happen. But it's just gonna take some steps. Like, remember, ask questions.
One
point. Yeah. I just want to commend the president. Work along with him. I mean, you guys are doing good work. But mine thing here, this morning, my mind being like all over the place, you know, because I didn't get an agenda. My suggestion, if we don't have an agenda, I suggest that we put it. You know, it would be like time conscious of what we're doing here, because we're not going to come today. Because I mean, like second part of the meeting, I just felt it was all just general discussion. And you can have like the members looking at it, you know, we'll put like we'll have that. I mean, it'll be, you know, our agenda and time conscious of the locally, because we need to come back here to this. And so let's just be time conscious of what we do and have an agenda.
The agenda was up there, but I will put it next year. No problem.
Let's talk about guys like read the agenda.
Yeah.
But at least you know.
That's fine. We'll do that.
Christy, you got a question?
No. Base nurses, healthcare workers, $10 that year she did, right? That encouraged to go out. I only came up here because pushing to build this school. 7,000 or 200,000 actually to build and like Leonard said, they're tired with us. We're tired also. So I've gone outside of the community. It's challenging each of us.
You don't have to be here for your job. Reach out to people. You don't have to be a part of it. Because we don't want to get stuck. That's all I'm saying. Just to encourage. Let's do more if you can.
Go ahead.
I just want to say, one thing I've noticed over the years that been coming with my husband. Can we just think about I just want us to think about people bring guests. If you bring guests for us to the welcome party or we want to invite people to come to the program, and all they see is some of you for food and soup and they can't do those things.
Did you say woman was American?
Let's go the conventional.
We acknowledge it. I took notes.
No, we acknowledge it.
Miss Edith, I acknowledge it. We will add food allergies to the registration for the convention next year.
Hey, anybody can nominate location for the next convention?
She said Delaware.
Thank you.
No.
It's because Delaware is part of this.
Precedents have already been set. We've done Maryland, we get Virginia. So that already,
We're going to vote, we're not asking.
We're not asking you, Mark. If we're for Delaware, don't wait for it.
Any others?
How about people?
Can I have
May I ask a question? Or may I suggest? Please don't nominate somewhere where you don't live.
Oh,
yes, that's what I said. I said what I said. Because you're gonna have everybody committee if you don't live there, you don't know the resources, you don't know, so it doesn't make sense.
I'm just saying, we've nominated places in the past who are living there. Once we know who we're hosting, and we know Yata.
Yeah. You.
There.
Like I said.
All right, listen up. You guys want to go? Yes or no? Because we're not going to leave here until we exhaust this agenda. All right, so we have some quiet. So we have one nomination for Delaware. Any other nomination?
I don't understand. Delaware is part of this.
Again, a precedent has already been set for this. We have Maryland, we have Virginia, so Delaware was still on the list. It's happened before. It's not new.
So why did we get it? Y'all got Sano and them to cook for a year? What?
The people here in Delaware not saying no. I don't know why Maryland
One boy. Listen up. I'm telling you, you guys are going to leave us something. One boy. Okay.
Alabama.
Okay, we got one Alabama, we got one Delaware, and where else?
You got two Delaware.
We haven't voted yet. We're just
Okay, we got Delaware, Alabama.
Listen, guys, you guys are not taking this serious.
Right.
This is not fun, right? We have a guest speaker that's gonna be at the call at 7:50. We're gonna be there at 7 o'clock or before 7, right?
G-Pay, number 11 there, who's winning the most? Who's in Virginia Beach?
Listen up, and I want us to be serious, right? If you nominate somewhere, be serious about it.
That's right.
If you're not serious about it, don't say anything.
That's right.
Let's get serious. So we have 2 locations. Nowhere else.
Since we try. Place, what route did we go?
Right.
We go somewhere down there.
No, let me put this out.
Myself and Eddie James is the only 2 who go my speed Phoenix. And I would tell you, you do not want to go to Phoenix in July.
Yeah, and we're not even attempting to finish in July. We know it's 130 there right now. Okay, I'm gonna close it on these 3 locations. All right, listen. You said.
Houston people are here. If we want to, we can do it.
Yes.
And it takes planning. It takes a lot of work. And I know you don't sit, you don't live. That's why.
The precedent in the past, we cannot just excuse it. You can nominate a state you don't live in as long as there's a G-Pay member. So if Boston and you declare Houston, then we can't go there.
You guys are seeing the pattern that's happening. Because all of us who are in this room already hosted at some point in time. And that means our group is closing in. So we now have to start thinking outside of the box. You know, we circle back again, or we go somewhere else and plan remotely. Alisa is a good planner, a good strategic VP planner. So, no, what I'm not talking about just, so my suggestion is, even I know we want to host where there's people, but we may have to think outside the box because not everybody wants that responsibility. Exactly. So we have to look at resorts, other places where we can just gather, not necessarily have members there. You understand what I'm trying to say? So because everybody is getting burnt out from the planning. You said Alabama, that's a lot on Michelle. You said Jersey, we all have done it before. It's a lot. So we now have to truly start thinking outside the box. Okay. But true. What you said?
This okay, close the floor and I will find you. Yeah.
I acknowledge what Sharon says, but the fact of the matter is that when we host in an area where we are, we sell tickets. Okay, so we go to our folks, we sell tickets. So I'm sorry if we're tired of going certain places, but we have to sacrifice. Yeah. This is why we have to.
It's not just about selling ticket, right? It's about spending less.
Yeah.
Because if you go to a location where there's nobody there to work, we're gonna spend more to host the convention.
And then we're not gonna get any money because we have to generate funds through the tickets.
We got 2 locations. Delaware.
Charlotte.
No. Oh, I'm naming Charlotte.
No, I'm just saying because we said that yesterday.
No. But somebody else,
Nobody's not here to accept it. Nobody's here.
And
So Alabama.
So we have Alabama and Delaware.
Let me just make sure that we're on track here because.
A lot of last year it wasn't there, but we can make it.
So you're
I'm nominating Minnesota.
In the past, this is what we've done, and we don't need to go away from it. Anybody can nominate a state that has members in it, but the members has to be willing to say, yes, we agree. It's that simple. You nominate, the people agree, the game is over. So we have Delaware on the floor. Is anybody willing to vote? Because we don't need to take too long. If you say no to Delaware, nobody's hosting, we take it off.
Exactly.
So we have Delaware on the floor. Is there anybody that lives in Delaware that's willing to host the convention in Delaware?
But the reason why my piece. I'm entitled to it. The reason why I'm like saying we shouldn't host it in Delaware this year is because this is Delaware. And let's put it in some here.
Okay, so then just decline. Just decline.
So you are declining it.
Look, we can come back. If nobody wants to take it, I don't mind. But you know, I don't mind. But we should give other people.
Yes, she's saying that.
All right, so
Okay,
all right.
I have a question. There's a certain group in Jersey there by Carlos that did all this work that's here, okay? So that this one wouldn't be burned out, if we go to sell where it would be another group.
That's the question.
Hey.
You accept the
We are on the book. We are on the book. Okay, got Minnesota.
Minnesota, do you agree? Wait, Minnesota, do you agree?
Hey, Shaka, you agree for Minnesota? Okay, look, listen up. We got San Antonio. We got Alabama. We got where? Minnesota. Delaware.
Nobody's the host.
Every
everybody had a chance to talk to the delegation, we have to discuss.
Next year we don't have this problem. I've never seen us waste this money. You guys find a location and you guys ridiculous. No, I'm getting sick and tired of this problem. If you guys continue, I'm gonna put you all in a bus and take about the problem. No, this is so embarrassing right now. I'm telling you. This is seriously embarrassing. To host that convention, we are acting like a bunch of kids. This is the first time we have spent this much time on hosting a convention.
And that means you don't hurry up. Late, it is damaged. That means you don't hurry up.
Minnesota will not host next year, we'll host the next year. So Alabama is willing to host, and then after that, we'll go for it.
At 2 locations we're gonna vote on, Alabama, San Antonio. So everybody can come back in.
Please come in and vote.
On 2 locations, San Antonio and Alabama.
Alabama
Okay, do we have everybody in?
Yeah.
So is Alabama good?
Yeah.
Okay, listen up. All of those in favor of Alabama, please raise your hands.
All right, stand up, please. Somebody come. Our hands up, please.
Put your hands up.
1, 2. All right. Hands up, please. And keep your hands up.
Alabama.
All right. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10, Mr. Brown, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right, I'll start again. Put your hand up. Put your hand up like the people standing up who are not voting. All right, hands up, please, and keep it up until I ask you to put it down. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. 18. 19.
See? Okay, we got 19 hands up for Alabama. Those of you in favor of San Antonio, please do not vote twice. If you're in favor of San Antonio, please raise your right hand.
Okay, and keep it up until I ask you to put it down. All right. We're ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay, Alabama is.
Okay. No more speeches. No. Sit up.
So in Birmingham, when you guys come, if you were 50 years old and we're having a pool party, do not wear a two-piece band.
No, we gotta go.
Madam Chaplain. Again, I want to say thank you to everybody for celebrating my birthday. My wife for hosting my birthday on Thursday, and guys, please.
I don't see it on
6:45 this evening. I will need you guys here at the hall.
There's one up.
Yes, speaker is the speaker.
We're not done yet.
This guy means to have this organization.
I'm very serious. I have conversations with him 2 or 3 times a week. Very engaged. He's Lorraine's boss. I'm very engaged with his office. Be here at 7:15. Do not be late. Leaves and feeding to.
We're not done. The meeting's not done.
Where's the chaplain?
The meeting is not done. We still have one more thing. We have the agenda up. Mr. Abdullah is coming on for 10 minutes. We're not done.
We're not ready.
We're not done. He's saying connecting. No, I don't see him on at all.
And I keep telling him, I told him, I said, I told him 30 minutes ago, I said, we'll be ready for him.
Well, he might have to come on a different meeting, unfortunately, because the people are already upset. So, how long should we give it?
But
that's what he told him. Yeah. It's just Mr. Abdullah's supposed to give his 10-minute whatever, and the group picture, that's it. But he's not getting on. I don't see him on. So we're about to forget it. That's it. Miss Aquinas just called him. He said he was connecting, but you know, so I don't know what else to do. Yeah, explain what he's asking for. What's he asking for?
All right, so we never have to say
Okay. We can hear Mr. Leslie. Hold on a second. Where is he?
All right.
Okay.
This is hello.
Hello. He's not muted. I can hear him here. It's just we have to quiet down.
All right, guys. We're almost done.
Hey, Leonard.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yeah, but you said we're coming on 1 o'clock. Again, it's not completed. Don't know if it's yet. Yeah, but it's 2 o'clock my time.
Yeah, sorry.
All right.
Go ahead.
All right. Okay, I will, there's a little delay for Egon coming in, but let me just go ahead with what I have to tell you guys, okay?
All right.
Thank you for inviting me and giving me the privilege to come to your forum. First of all, I want to congratulate you for all you've done and continue to do in terms of education in the Bongma area. It's a good sign, and it's a good thing that you've done for you and your country. And the same thing, we want to come in now to introduce a different aspect of how we can contribute towards our country here, Bongma, where we were before. What we're going to tell you today is, when it comes on, is to tell you how we can utilize the area where we were once living, the settlement area, and maybe even outside, to create new wealth for the citizens, that they can become self-sufficient, not only in education, but in every aspect of life. When we had our first gathering, we thought we're just dreamers to dream how we can convert the former Bongma area into an area settlement where people can live, do business, they can earn a living, and be independent, irrespective of relationship to any government, but only our own resolve, because we were once there, we all grew up there, and we think we can bring that area of the country to a self-sustaining entity. I.e., we thought you could do low-cost housing, you could do building material production. We have the facilities there, the swimming pool, the tennis court, the golf club, a lot of things that we can use to promote and revitalize that part of the country after the bomb mines are left. It's gonna be tough. There's not gonna be any relationship with any government. It's not our resolve and investors who would like to work with us. What does that entail? It entails that we create a package that we can present to developers who will be convinced by what we tell them to come to our aid. As we are now, the group is just a group of dreamers comprising of me, Aiken, Linus, and a few other persons who have always attended our meeting. We have a meeting, one meeting every quarter, just to discuss and brainstorm. We are still at a brainstorming stage, but we decided to just bring it to this forum so that more people will know that when they are called upon to come to the meeting, they can come and contribute. Like I say, it's a dream, but I think it's worth pursuing. So thank you for giving us the audience. And in a short time, Aiken will come on to give a slide presentation. I hope it won't take too long. And then from there, we can do questions and answers. Again, thank you for giving us the opportunity to talk to you. And we wish you a very successful and great 2023 convention. Thank you. Lena's will for Aiken to come in.
Thank you, Mr. Abdul. I don't think he is. Can he send us the slides and we send it to the body later? Okay.
Was that audible enough?
No. It's not.
Hello?
Yeah, Mr. Abdul, we can hear you.
Did you hear me?
But he's not on. He's not on.
Who's not on? Aiken is not on?
Correct.
But did you hear me correctly?
Yes, we heard you.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well, let me see what's happening to him. Hold on. All right, you'll be coming on momentarily.
Okay.
I like how you guys at the city, like a town hall meeting. That looks good.
Thank you, thank you.
Everybody all up in there. The BCCA shirt. Are those the new colors for this year?
Yes.
Hello. Okay, Igom is in now, I think. I see Igom phone.
Man, you guys really tripped me up.
Yeah. Okay,
can they hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay, good. I sent out a PowerPoint. Is there any way that can be uploaded somehow and put on the screen?
We don't have it up right now, and I'm not sure where it is.
I sent it to Vase, Linus, and Linus as well via WhatsApp. Is there any other way I can send it?
Let's see. We're really pressed for time right now, Mr. Ikem.
Yeah, I mean, you guys were supposed to get to me at 1 o'clock. You're getting to me about an hour earlier than I expected. So I wasn't prepared to make any presentation at this very moment. I just finished it and I just sent it. So I was working on 1 p.m. and I got a call shortly after afternoon.
Okay, so what we'll do is, Mr. Russell will call you. What we'll do is we'll share the presentation with the body, okay?
All right.
All right,
And
thank you.
either Vasi or Lena should be able to make the presentation based on what I've written.
Okay, okay,
All right.
We'll be
If there's
sure to
anything
share.
else, let me know.
okay. Thank
Okay
you.
then. Thank you. Bye.
All right, everybody online, this is going to conclude the business meeting. Oh, where's Chaplain?
So, I mean, listen, the initiative I want to from Mrs. Chinson. I'm pleased to announce that we were able to come up with $773 for Mrs. Jimison medical expense.
That's awesome.
No. I will take it, but we're talking. It's not BECA one, right?
No, it's not.
That's kind of wild.
It's not. It's for
But let's talk voluntary. We'll talk how we'll have to.
Okay.
That's it. If you want to, we can leave now.
Yeah, I'm really BECA.
All right, we're going to pray before we conclude the meeting.
So we talk about giving money to the models. And the model said he cassava puff. Yeah, I still got cassava puff on my head. Easier, you and me. Let the people start sending cash now, please. But then we reach to the hospital.
Yeah, let's go. Let's go.
Let us pray. Father God, we bless your name. Thank you for a successful meeting. As we go forth to have lunch, I pray that you nourish the food and bless the hands that made it. In Jesus' name I pray.
We want to take a group picture outside. So